In the entire history of our planet, two titans were the undisputed kings of their worlds. 1. A shark so impossibly huge it hunted whales for fun. The other, a monstrous serpent that squeezed the life out of giant crocodiles in the world's very first rainforests. Now, they were separated by about 40 million years, but what if they weren't? What if the 60-foot shark that owned the oceans met the 45-foot snake that dominated the swamps? Clash of giants would be unavoidable. So, let's break down this colossal matchup to figure out who would be the true prehistoric king. First up, in the blue corner, we have the apex predator of all apex predators, Carcharodontless megalodon. This wasn't just a shark. It was the largest shark that ever lived, ruling the oceans from about 23 to 3.6 million years ago. Growing up to 60 feet long and weighing in at a massive 50 to 70 tons, Megalodon was a true heavyweight. That made it weigh more than 40 times as much as its slithery rival. Its body was a torpedo of pure power. And it is estimated it could cruise through the open water at speeds of around 11 miles per hour. But its real weapon, the thing nightmares are made of, was its bite. Megalodon's jaws were nearly 9 feet wide, filled with 276 serrated teeth, each the size of a human hand. This delivered one of the most powerful bites in history. Estimated at a bone-crushing 40,000 pounds per square inch, it was more than enough force to shatter the bones of a whale, and it could tear through pretty much any defense its prey could put up. This was a hunter that didn't just kill, completely obliterated. And in the green corner, the challenger, Titanoboa. 60 million years ago, in the hot, swampy jungles of what is now Colombia, this snake was the biggest predator on the planet, stretched to lengths of around 45 feet and weighed about 2,500 pounds. While that might sound like a lightweight next to the shark, Titanoboa was an absolute master of its domain. Its muddy, brownish-gray skin gave it the perfect camouflage in the murky rivers it called home.
Much like today's anacondas.
Titanoboa was an ambush hunter. It spent most of its time lurking in the water, where its enormous body was both buoyant and hidden. Ate on giant turtles and crocodiles. But it didn't use venom or a nasty bite to kill. Instead, it used its incredible strength to constrict. Once it coiled its 3-foot-thick body around its victim, it would squeeze with devastating pressure, causing suffocation or catastrophic organ failure. For any creature in its swamp, a run-in with Titanoboa was their last. For these two monsters to ever meet, we have to bend the rules of history. Megalodon was a creature of the warm global oceans, while Titanoboa was stuck in the tropical rivers of South America. They never coexisted. But let's imagine a scenario where their worlds collide. A huge, murky river delta where a shallow sea spills into a dense mangrove-choked swamp. This unique battlefield gives both fighters a shot. The water is just deep enough for Megalodon to move, but it's also confined and cloudy, which gives the ambush-hunting Titanoboa its only real edge. The fight is on. Lurking in the muddy shallows, Titanoboa makes the first move, lunges out with shocking speed, sinking its teeth into Megalodon's massive side to get a grip. Immediately, it tries to wrap its powerful coils around the shark's body, its signature, deadly move. But this isn't some prehistoric crocodile. The Megalodon's immense girth, nearly 9 feet across, makes it almost impossible for the snake to get a fully constricting grip. The shark, stunned and wounded, responds with nothing but raw brute force. It thrashes wildly, its tail churning the water into a vortex of chaos. Titanoboa fights to hang on, but the sheer power of a 60-ton animal is just too much to handle. The Megalodon twists its body and opens its colossal jaws. With a single horrific bite, it clamps down on the snake's body. The pressure is unbelievable, and the shark's serrated teeth slice through muscle and bone like it's nothing. In reality, the fight would probably be over in a flash. The winner, and it's not really close, is the Megalodon. While Titanoboa was the undisputed king of its swamp, this battle just comes down to physics. Megalodon wasn't just longer, it was exponentially heavier and more powerful. Titanoboa's main weapon, constriction, is made for prey its own size or a bit larger. It would be useless against something as monumentally huge and strong as a Megalodon. On the other hand, Megalodon's primary weapon, that terrifying bite, perfectly designed to end this fight instantly and decisively. A single bite could have easily severed the snake in two or caused such devastating damage that the battle would be over before it even really started. In any believable water-based scenario, from the deep ocean to a shallow estuary, Megalodon's incredible size, power, and weaponry give it an overwhelming advantage. But what do you think? Could Titanoboa's sneaky ambush tactics give it a fighting chance in a different setting? Let us know who you think would win in the comments below. If you love checking out epic prehistoric showdowns like this one, make sure to subscribe for more, even though they were separated by millions of years. The legacies of Megalodon and Titanoboa live on as two of the most incredible predators our planet has ever known. One was a god of the sea, the other a monster of the swamp. And while this fantasy matchup ends with a clear victory for the shark, it's an awesome reminder of the sheer power and scale of life in the prehistoric world.